This is very, very important. You have
Mhm.
to be very clear about what you want to say. You have to, maybe if you are thinking about a new idea that you think that people will be interested to know, you have to show the benefit of this idea. You have to really get the buy-in for your ideas. With writing, I receive more and more offers from journals. We need you also to participate in articles with us. Or, for example, I receive from some academies, you have so much information about IT and you write it in articles. We need you to participate in a course.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Leaders Talk. As usual, I'm your host, Andrew Dupy, and here we have with us today Fadwa AlBawardi, and she is one of our authors in Luminary Leadership, and she has a lot that she's here to share with us today. Fadwa, welcome.
Hi, welcome, Andrew. How are you?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Wonderful. Well, Fadwa, tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Sure. I'm from Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
I'm an author. I have 3 publications. One of them is in Arabic. 2 of them are in English. I have been working in the IT field for more than 21 years. This is my specialty, computer science, and I'm also certified in strategic planning. I am also a weekly columnist in some digital papers, like, for example, those journals like Mal Economic Journal. It's a very well-known economic journal in Saudi Arabia. And I'm very happy to share knowledge through writing, whether it's publications like articles. This is the area that I feel very much fulfilled when I do.
Excellent. So that's interesting that we're kind of going from IT to writing. What inspired you as someone who was in technology to begin to express yourself through writing?
Actually, I think this is some new way of expressing myself and sharing knowledge. Like, there is a lot of technical information around, and so many people find these technical information to be kind of complicated or sophisticated terms. Not everyone is familiar with the technical terms. So one of the main purpose of my writing is to make sure that people will understand those technical terms in a simplified way. I try to write about a specific subject, whether, for example, it's the digital economy, because I'm very much interested in economy. So what do people know about digital economy, and how is IT helping to enhance the economy in any country? So I write an article about this. I try to use very simplified terms in order to explain what that means and what is the progress and how countries are benefiting, for example, from IT in order to enrich their economy, and so on.
Excellent. So what goes into the process then of being able to create something like that? Because we have a lot of people that are listening that are business leaders. They're interested in writing, obviously. I mean, that's probably one of the reasons why they're even here to begin with. So you're able to do what process does it take to be able to take these technical terms and then be able to turn it into something that someone's going to be able to read and understand?
I think the process first is that you need to be passionate about writing. It's very important. It's very, very important to have an article that contains part of you. For example, the way that you view things, the way that you see things. If you have a certain subject and you want to write about it, you want to express it, you have to use specific words that mean to you, and at the same time, you know that will leave an impact to the readers or to the audience who are reading it. So I believe the process first is that you have to really like writing. You have to really enjoy it. When you write an article and you finish it and it's published, then you will feel so glad, you will feel satisfied then that you have done something, especially if you find readers who actually write to you back and tell you that we made use of that article and we found that this information is useful. For example, I have received some feedback from researchers, and they were telling me that the information that I have written in the article was they found it valuable for them in their research, and it urged them to look more into more details about it. Also, it gives ideas to young students who would like to write something in their universities, in their schools. So it gives them ideas for projects, for research papers, and so on.
And how do you, when you know, there's always that moment where you make a decision to write something, and you think to yourself, okay, I'm going to do this, but then how am I going to get it in front of people? How am I going to get it to where anyone's going to be interested in reading it? That's a hard step for a lot of people. How did you overcome that?
Okay. I think it's very important also to be able to write in a well-known journal. This is very important. Like the journals that I'm writing for, they are very popular journals. A lot of economists read them. A lot of entrepreneurs read them. A lot of researchers read them. I think it's very important to select where you are going to publish your articles. This is very, very important. And in addition, I think when you write an article that one person finds useful, he's going to actually market for you among their inner circle. And then you will find yourself with time, with more articles, you are even gaining more and more readers. Like right now, I have more than 150 published articles in Saudi journals. And I'm very happy and proud about this. And I noticed that with time, the circle of the readers, it grows. Actually, you find more and more readers and you get more feedback. So I think it needs time. It needs even to target the right environment, which is the right journal.
And again, how do you know what those right environments and right journals are when you're just starting out this process? Where do you look and find this?
You need to research in social media. For example, what I have done is that I started with some digital journals that are very well known in Saudi Arabia. And I had a lot of support. When I had the meetings with the editors-in-chief, they told me that I have potential. That was in the very beginning. They told me that I have potential when they talked to me, when they knew my background and what I'm capable of. They told me, okay, just send us an article and we will see whether it fits or not. And I did. And it actually worked for me. So I think it's very important to research who you would need to contact, who you would need to get to know, and who you would need to meet. And then you need to prove yourself. Once you do that, then you are ready to go.
It sounds like you need a little motivation. Earlier you said passion, and then you said that one of the most important things in this is that you really need to be passionate about it. So how do you? It's actually something I mention a lot when someone's talking about writing a book. It's like lock in your why. Lock in your why. What's your why? What makes you so passionate about this, and why do you put in all the work you do?
Okay. I love my country so much. I want to be sharing in as much knowledge as I can, especially to the young generation. And one of the, I would say, the most influential ways where you can share knowledge and you can make sure that this knowledge reaches people is through articles, is through social media, is through tweets. This is very, very powerful. And actually, this is why I would like I have worked for, as I mentioned, more than 21 years, and I would like to share part of this information. So instead of, for example, going to university and sharing it as a course, like instead of giving it to 50 people, why don't I put some of the information in a set of articles, and it could reach hundreds or maybe thousands. So this is how I see it, and that's why I'm very passionate about articles.
Yeah, well, I mean that's just it. When you're writing something, you're giving someone a key to unlock what you know and to kind of give them entry into your world. Isn't that true?
Yes, exactly. And you are also indirectly becoming kind of like an example that why don't we do the same? Why don't we also share our information? Like there are people with so many different specialties. And when you write an article, you will find other people will find this kind of inspiring and they will do the same. So you will find a wealth of knowledge eventually at the end.
Well, see, I love that, and that's a common objection that I get from someone who has gotten to the point where they think they might want to write a book, but they're not doing it. They sit there and they say, "Well, but there's so many other voices out there. So many people have said the same things, and all of that. I just want to get lost." But what you're telling me, and what I love hearing, is that the more voices are out there, the better. The more voices are out there, the better the information. So tell me a little bit about that, about how your unique voice, you made it unique.
Okay, many people write about IT. I think maybe what makes each person unique is the way that they write. There's a style of writing for every person. For example, some people go into storytelling. Some people go into direct kind of facts. Some people have this kind of like maybe in-depth knowledge when they write. Some people, they just give some clues about keywords here and there. I think it varies, and each person actually has got their own readers who enjoy their style of reading. So, for example, I judge it like when I read an article and I'm very much interested in the style of the author or the columnist, then this will make me wait for the next article in order to read more. And I think it has to do at the end with the style of writing. And also it has to do with adjusting and enhancing. Sometimes you get remarks that are not always positive. Like, for example, I wrote once an article and I didn't really notice that I have used some technical words that were not very clear to the non-technical people. And I actually received a remark. It's like, we did not really understand the article too much. It was a little bit complicated and vague. So this made me learn that next article, I'm going to enhance my style and make sure that it's more simplified and so on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's just it. As you continue to write, the more that you write, the more you learn about how to write better as it goes along. Isn't that a fair assessment?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same with our podcast. I think every one that we do, the next one is hopefully going to be even better and even better as we go along. You got to learn while doing.
You're so good with that, Andrew.
Well, thank you. So yeah, I mean, so we've locked in the why. We get the how. Let's go a little bit more into the how, because that also is an issue where people then have a problem. Like, how do I actually sit down and put the thoughts in my mind onto paper in a way in which somebody is going to be able to read it? Not everybody has that talent naturally. So how do you then navigate making your words in your head turn into something that someone's going to want to read?
Okay. I think the beginning of the article, the start of the article is very important. You have to start always with something that will attract readers, whether it's like, for example, introductory for what you are going to include in the article, and to make sure that the subject, the article name is very also attractive. This is very, very important, how you start your article. And then you have to be very well organized. Don't just write words, and that's it. You have to be kind of structured. You have to move from one idea to another idea in the article very smoothly. You need to don't go into too much boring details, because you would lose the readers in the middle.
Right.
The article, it needs to be kind of precise, to the point. I don't like long articles. I don't think anybody has got even time and effort to read long articles. So I try to have like a one-page article, very well organized paragraphs showing the point. especially if you are going to talk about something that is of importance to the country. I think this is very, very important. You have to be very clear about what you want to say. You have to, maybe if you are thinking about a new idea that you think that people will be interested to know, you have to show the benefit of this idea. You have to really get the buy-in for your ideas. It's a matter of having a very attractive introduction, brief articles, and at the same time to the points, and very, very consistent. This is very important. Don't lose people in the middle.
Yeah. And then when you have these kind of articles, I mean, they can help you later on when you're thinking about perhaps writing a full book. Wouldn't that be fair to say as well?
Yes, actually writing a book it takes much more time and effort. All the books that I have worked with, they were with other co-authors, and I'm very, very happy and proud with all the teams that I have worked on those 3 books that I have worked in before. I think it's very, very important to choose what chapters you are going to write in. If this chapter is going to be only for you, then what are the ideas? What are the questions that you need answers for? If you are going to work with another co-author in the same chapter, you need to have your ideas complementing each other. You need to really revise the ideas. I think for the book, you are going into a different level of thinking. You are very much detailed. Books are very, very detailed, different than articles. So it just depends. Books take a long time. Like
they do.
Yes, they take a long time with writing, drafting, revising them, publishing them, the layouts, what you're going to include. Maybe sometimes you need to put a lot of images and so on. However, once the book is done and it's published, it's great. It's something that you will be proud of for the rest of your life.
Yeah. But I'm finding though that you're able to say that if you're going to really kind of delve into the concept of articles, you can make that work for you almost as effectively, really, if you put enough effort into it and enough passion into it and devote enough time to it. Exactly.
You have to have passion in anything that you do. Yes, true.
Absolutely, yeah. And so what has this done for your business? That's the question everybody also asks. It's like, so now that I've done this, I've written a book, or I've written a lot of articles and I put them out there. So, what's that going to do for me for when it's done? Yeah.
Okay. I think you need to build your name. You need to, like, for example, when I write articles, when I share some of the information that I have, this attracts people who are eager to have information shared. Like with writing, I receive more and more offers from journals. We need you also to participate in articles with us. Or, for example, I receive from some academies, you have so much information about IT and you write it in articles. We need you to participate in a course, a 1-week course, or even sometimes online course or a session in order to educate, or a lecture, or even a conference. I got several invitations as a speaker in conferences, whether it's local in Saudi Arabia or international, because of the publications and the articles. It's just a way where you are showing what you have. It's a way of taking the thoughts in your mind and just putting it right there on the table, and just letting people know that you know all this amount of information, and it is available for anyone who would like to make use and find it worthy, whether in the research or their education and so on. And there is a lot of people who are hungry for information, a lot.
I mean, absolutely. That's just it. I mean, I think that people underestimate just how much, especially now with the way that we just share so much information across multiple platforms, people are consistently looking for more information all the time.
Exactly. Especially that now, when I write about IT, I write a lot about artificial intelligence. I write a lot about strategies. I write about updated information that people are now making use of and seeking. So it's very, very important also for a person who writes to be up to date with what's going on in the world. You cannot be outdated. You have to also read. You have to enrich in yourself. You have to be updated on a daily basis in order to be able to write about things that nobody knows about before, because you actually did the research before and you already know about this kind of information, especially in competitive fields like IT. Information gets updated so quickly. Technologies advance very, very quickly. So you really have to be up to date with what's happening in the world.
Yeah, I mean, it almost sounds to me like you're losing so much by not writing and not staying out there. That, I mean, it's almost necessary at this point, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. Yes. It's very, very important, because while writing, you learn. You yourself, you learn, and you become more creative even. Sometimes when I'm writing an article, some idea pops up in my mind, and it's like something that maybe nobody has thought about before. So there is a lot going on with writing, and I believe writing and being creative, they're very much interrelated.
Wonderful. Well, Fadwa, this is some really good information for our listeners. I think you've answered a lot of their questions they've been looking for. So if someone is looking for you, they want to do business with you, they just want to read some of your articles, how can they find you?
I'm available in Twitter. I'm available in LinkedIn. All they have to do is just type my name, Fadwa AlBawardi, and it will appear. Just Google it and you will find all my social media and my email and my Twitter. And I will be more than happy if anyone wants to reach out for any information. I'm there.
Perfect. Well, wonderful. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. All you got to do is clap your fingers or clap your hands, and Fadwa will appear.
Exactly.
Well, Fadwa, it was really a pleasure. I'm sure we could talk for hours more about this, but yeah, we'll keep it there. And yeah, it was wonderful having you. And hopefully we'll be talking again in the future.
Thank you so much, Andrew. Thank you very much. Glad to talk to you.